I'm back, and we're just gonna jump right into the second part. These are not easy. I'm trying, but sometimes I just can't keep a train of thought going because my mind starts in on other stuff, and I'm seeing things in my mind and trying to talk about other things, and it's difficult. So you know when you're watching Grey's or whatever your medical drama of choice is, and you see that somebody's been sick or had surgery or something, and they try to move them from their bed into a chair, which is right beside the bed, and the person, starts screaming like their ears are being ripped off, and you're sitting there looking at your TV thinking to yourself, all right, no, that's a bit of bullshit right there. Yeah, it's not. It's really not. I've been there. I think, I don't know, maybe other people didn't make this assumption or don't make this assumption. I have no idea. I used to watch medical dramas and stuff and think to myself, okay, it's for a fact, or you didn't. It's very different to watch it unfold and have it happen, and it's very easy to judge it while you're watching it unfold when it's not happening to you, I guess, is the point that I'm trying to make, aside from the one that I have found, and I've rewatched all 15 seasons of, I think 15, whatever, I think we're up to 16 now, I'm not sure. I've watched them all again since I've been sick, and any of the experiences that I have in common with something that's being depicted on this show, I've actually found it to be triggeringly accurate in a lot of cases, whether it's the sound or my brain is doing it again. So in my mind, what's happening right now is I'm going through some of the procedures, specifically when they went in to take out a whole amount of pus and liquefied pancreas, and then another time when they were trying to get in a PICC line, which is an IV that goes in like a normal IV, and it runs up into your chest. They're a lot of fun. We're going to do, I promise you that we're going to do a whole episode devoted to nothing but PICC lines, because they are just such a treat. I can't wait. Maybe we'll do that for Christmas. We could totally do that for Christmas. But yeah, the shows are more accurate than I would have at least thought they would be. It's not as dramatized as I thought. Even for someone with as much of a penchant for melodrama as myself. When I say I almost died, though, I don't mean in a TV kind of way. There wasn't like this grand moment that my life was hinging on, and if I could just make it through that next few minutes, everything would be fine. It was just a matter of time. That is not what happened to me. I certainly did have those moments of crisis. I never had the paddles. They were brought into my room, and they were kept outside of my room a fair bit in the beginning, is my understanding. And I actually remember them talking about it once when I was in the ICU in the very, very beginning. But no, I didn't have that moment and I came back, or no. It was just will she or won't she type thing. Like, I didn't have the trajectory of, here's your ground zero moment X of heart attack, crisis, whatever, and then just come back up from it. My line was more like that, like just okay, you're plateauing barely here, and then it would get bad, and then I'd come back up to barely here, and then back down, and And sometimes though there would be spikes, several spikes in one day. It was kind of all over the place. And for a lot, well, at the beginning, my line was just doing that, right? I got sick. There was the C-section, there was the pancreatitis, and then it just kept getting sicker. New things kept going wrong. They would figure one thing out, and then that way that they figured out to solve it would stop working, and they would have to try and figure something else out. It was just chaos, I guess, in some respects. Not really from my perspective. I was just existing moment to moment, especially in those early moments where the pain was so bad, so intense. I was in the woods, as they say, for probably about 3 months. And there was no fast train up a slope out for me. I mean, relatively speaking, absolutely, I was on a very fast train. I remember being told that an average, given my situation with the pancreatitis, would be they would expect me to be in the hospital for 9 to 18 months. So from their perspective, my train was just, it was like that fast one in France, right? It just soared through. Any amount of time is a long time in hospital. 5 months in hospital is a very long time. But yeah, I was in the woods 3.5 months, 3 months. Yeah. And then I just stayed there, and my metaphorical woods were actually more of a desert that I just dragged myself out of. So it was just, woods to me implies water, and there were no streams or trees in that. It was definitely a desert, and I just sort of drug myself like a snake through the sand. And some days you still taste sand. Some days. So, yeah, okay. So I'm obviously supremely triggered right now, which is something that I will do a post on. So I gotta stop. See, I'm doing the rubbing and this is what my PTSD looks like. What it feels like is my heart is pounding out of my chest, and it feels very heavy. My lower right in here feels very heavy. It's hard to breathe, it's hard to think, it's hard to speak. It's hard to remember what I'm trying to talk about. And it's not even that I'm necessarily thinking of anything specific right now. I'm just caught in this, almost like a nothingness. I'm sure it makes for excellent viewing. This is it. This isn't all it looks like, but this is it. So, I've done 2 parts, both of which are ending splendidly. I hope I post them. I think I'm going to. I feel very committed to doing this, and this is why I'm doing this. So, here it is. Here I am. I guess we've covered a little bit more of what my time in the hospital was like, what that experience was like, and you've gotten to see what it can look like now. Anyway, thank you for coming along for the ride. I hope everybody's well. I hope to hear from you, and I will be back as soon as I can. Thank you.